Hey, everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. I got to tell you, still pretty pissed off about Jeff Sessions and his Puritan crusade, his Puritan prohibition mayhem. And boy, has he woke up Congress. I was absolutely blown away at how non-representing representatives actually were pissed off at this. And, you know, rightfully so. I think it's been legalized in enough states, marijuana, to where they're actually starting to see, wow, we can make a ton of money on this. You know, and of course, I'm not really big. I'm not a big proponent of new taxes. But if I had the choice of paying 20% tax or having to buy it on the street illegally, I, of course, would take the path of least resistance in that case, you know. So, and plus, you know, when you talk about legalization, most people can grow it themselves. So it makes no sense. And then you take a look at, we allow alcohol, right? We allow alcohol to flow freely, knowing that alcohol exponentially affects you and makes your senses and your reflexes deteriorate so much more than weed. I don't care if it's the dankest dank. It's certainly not going to make you impaired like if you drink a 12-pack of beer, you know, or whatever. So the whole concept of marijuana prohibition is totally unfounded. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to take you down the history of marijuana prohibition in this country. And I'm going to tell you exactly where we went off the rails. As a matter of fact, I'm going to prove it to you that this was single-handedly the result of President Nixon's war on hippies and blacks. And I will prove it to you tomorrow in his own words. So you're going to want to stay tuned or tune in tomorrow for that, because that is going to be if you don't know the history of marijuana prohibition and the Controlled Substances Act, I'm going to take you through it tomorrow. So make sure that you check out the channel, check out thedailysheeple.com for that. Now, The Mind Unleashed did an article on this. Irate politicians declare open revolt against Sessions' return to the war on weed. It says, to the consternation of seemingly everyone, Attorney General Jeff Sessions single-handedly exhumed the cadaver of cannabis prohibition Thursday, torching protections instituted by the previous administration against federal intervention into any state's self-determined pot policies in a memo as bitterly received as it is economically, socially, and politically stunted. An appropriately acrid backlash expectedly ensued. Quote, this is according to Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkin. She said, "We will not be bullied by an administration that seems obsessed with dismantling things that are actually working." Amen to that. In Colorado, CBS News reported that a U.S. Attorney, Bob Troyer, openly rebelled, announcing his office would not alter how it prosecutes cannabis crimes, while Senator Cory Gardner, a Republican, went a step further, warning any Democrat of Justice or any Department of Justice nominations by President Trump would be blocked until Sessions backtracks. Listen to this. He says, "The decision today blindsided me and many others who were under the belief that this would not happen." He said, "If the Department of Justice wants another nominee confirmed, they better fix this." This was not part of the agenda, the senator contended. This was not part of the plan. Many of us were misled. Additionally, Charlie Baker, the Republican governor of Massachusetts, called the Sessions policy the wrong decision while pledging to review any potential impacts. Brian Sandoval of Nevada told the Daily Beast in a statement that he believed Nevada's marijuana industry is a model for all other states, while Bill Walker, the independent governor of Alaska, called the decision disappointing, adding that he was committed to upholding the will of Alaskans on the issue and maintaining our state's sovereign rights to manage our own affairs while protecting federal interests. Alaska, of course, became the third state to legalize recreational marijuana in 2015. Now, it just wasn't the offensive move itself vexing most of the nation, but of course, it was the abrupt way and the timing. Apparently, even the Justice Department had to scramble to provide vague answers. And none of it is justifiable. And we saw on Friday Republicans and Democrats alike lashing out at this. Now, I will tell you that there is legislation in Congress that has many co-sponsors that could easily solve this issue. And it's called the Ending Federal Marijuana Prohibition Act of 2017. The number is H.R. 1227. H.R. 1227. Justin Amash is one of the co-sponsors of the bill, and he said under our Constitution, marijuana should be or shouldn't be federally criminalized. Representative Tom Garrett has a bill that will stop A.G. Sessions in his tracks. And of what I just said, H.R. 1227. Tulsi Gabbard went on to say, I urge my colleagues to support H.R. 1227, which would decriminalize marijuana by removing it from the federal controlled substances list, treating it the same as alcohol and tobacco, which it should, because those two are infinitely more detrimental to your health and well-being than marijuana ever could be. It says here, our bipartisan legislation will end the unnecessary and costly debate once and for all by federally decriminalizing marijuana and kickstarting long overdue common sense criminal justice reform. According to its summary, the bill amends the Controlled Substances Act to provide that the Act's regulatory controls and administrative, civil, and criminal penalties do not apply with respect to marijuana. It removes marijuana and tetrahydrocannabinols from Schedule 1. A Schedule 1 controlled substance, of course, is a drug or chemical that has a high potential for abuse and has no currently accepted medical value, which, of course, we know is a crock o' shite. It just totally is. How many millions of people have to come forward and say, holy crap, I have been saved by marijuana? And I'm not joking. So when you got guys like Sanjay Gupta of the Communist News Network coming out in favor of it, I would think that it's time to reconsider our stance on that. And I would go further and say every other. I'd say straight up a flat out repeal of the CSA, the Controlled Substances Act, or bust. This H.R. 1227, while certainly a step in the right direction, is a baby step at that. But the only way to fix the problem in this country is to end prohibition of everything. The only way to make things right is to respect the rights of sovereign individuals and let them do what they will. And provide the proper education, the proper resources for those that do get physiologically or psychologically addicted to other substances, if you will, to provide them the resources and the education so that they make the right decisions or that they can easily wean themselves off with little to no problems. There are many countries throughout this great world we live in on planet Earth that don't prohibit anything. And they've seen their problems vanish, melt away. So it's already been done. You have to ask yourself, if it's worked in other places, then why are we so hell-bent on keeping all of these illegal? And I'll tell you why. It's very simple. Because the private prison industrial complex is one of the biggest lobbying groups in America. And they make a ton of money on the drug war. The drug war provides them bodies, which then they pay at 25 cents an hour to make all sorts of goods and provide services, and they make a ton of money. So that's one of the many reasons behind it, not to mention the fact that the DEA and other government organizations have many people that they want to remain employed, and so they need to justify their jobs by terrorizing American citizens. What they do. No different than stormtroopers or anything else. They're jackbooted thugs that, to me, deserve zero respect for terrorizing thousands, millions of people in this country with unnecessary draconian rules and regulations. So if we want to fix the problem, H.R. 1227 is certainly a step in the right direction. But an all-out repeal of the Controlled Substances Act is the only way that we're going to get ourselves out of any mess we're in. We have to respect people and respect their freedom of choice and their free will. Anything short of that will end in epic failure. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Hashtag Wake the Flock Up. Have a great day, everybody.